All right, let's talk about something I'm pretty sure we all know a little too well, that feeling of pure content chaos. In this explainer, we're going to dive into how to transform all that craziness into a predictable, powerful engine for growth. Let's get into it. Does this look familiar? You feel like you're stuck on a content treadmill, right? You're constantly creating, constantly pushing things out, but the results feel totally random and disconnected. One week, you're a genius and everything hits. The next week, nothing. It is so exhausting, and it feels like you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping something, anything, will stick. So really, you're looking at a tale of two different worlds here. On one side, you've got sporadic outputs. That's the land of burnout, inconsistent results, and a lot of noise with very little signal. But on the other side, you've got steady growth. That's where things are predictable, you're building real authority, and the whole process is efficient. Our goal today is to build the bridge that gets you from that chaos side over to steady growth. So how do we actually build that bridge? Well, it all comes down to finding what the source material calls your editorial heartbeat. And this is the core idea that's going to shift us away from random acts of content and move us toward a reliable, strategic rhythm. So what is this exactly? An editorial cadence is so much more than just a calendar. I want you to think of it as production scaffolding. It's the whole underlying structure that takes all your great ideas and methodically turns them into outputs you can actually measure, and most importantly, into growth you can predict. It is the system behind all the success. And this is a really, really important point. A real cadence isn't just some nice to have suggestion that people can choose to ignore. No, it becomes an organizational contract. It sets clear expectations for absolutely everyone involved, from your writers to your analytics team, so that every single time you publish, a predictable chain of events gets kicked off. Okay, so what does this actually look like when the rubber meets the road? Well, the first big choice you've got to make is your publishing rhythm. And there are two really clear, really effective paths to predictability. So you basically have two main paths you can go down. There's the weekly cadence, which is absolutely perfect for grabbing those quick topical wins and keeping your audience constantly engaged. Then you've got the quarterly cadence. Now, this one is much more focused on building out those deep, strategic pillar pieces of content that establish real organic authority over time. The key here isn't that one is better than the other, it's about picking the one that actually fits your team's capacity and your main business goals. Alright, so once you've picked your rhythm, you need a playbook, right? A way to actually execute on it day in and day out without fail. So let's break down the 3 core routines that are going to bring that cadence to life. First up, you've got the monthly model. Think of it as a simple 4-week loop that just repeats. In week 1, it's all about research and outlining, really digging into what your audience is actually looking for. Week 2 is for drafting and getting all the technical pieces like your metadata and schema, right? Week 3 is go time. You publish and you push that content out everywhere. And then, and this is so important, week 4 closes the loop. You measure the performance and then you decide, do we refresh this piece or do we amplify it? It's a system you can repeat and measure over and over again. Okay, get ready for this next routine because this is where you get some serious leverage. It's called the day after extract. So instead of publishing a fantastic article and then just wondering what to do next, you have a plan to squeeze every last drop of value out of it immediately. And here's the game plan. The very next day after you publish a big piece, you create a hit list of 8 to 12 smaller derivative assets that come directly from that main piece. We're talking short video scripts, bullet points for a carousel post, a couple of quick answer social posts, or maybe some FAQ snippets. This makes your distribution a systematic process, not just an afterthought. And finally, routine number 3 is basically your content's regular checkup, the 90-day audit. Every single quarter, you go back and review your best performing content. Are the stats still current? Are the examples you use still fresh? This is not a full rewrite, okay? It's a really focused maintenance process to make sure your most valuable assets stay valuable. Okay, so you've got your cadence down, you've got your playbook, but what happens when you need to scale this whole thing up and start working with content in bulk? This is where a really clever little bit of process design comes into play. And the golden rule here is so simple, but so powerful. Never reprocess finished work. When you start running automations and scripts, the last thing you want is to waste time and resources on tasks that are already done. And that is the whole idea behind what's called remainder logic. And look how simple this is to set up. All you need is a status field for every piece of content. Ready, processing, or done. All of your automated processes are then set up to only touch the items marked ready. This one simple step prevents so much wasted effort. It makes recovering from errors way easier, and it lets you scale your operations without creating a total mess. So when you pull all this together, the cadence, the playbook, the scaling logic, it all points to one final, and honestly pretty crucial, mindset shift. It's about totally changing how you see your role in all of this. And this is it. This is the ultimate takeaway. It's time to stop thinking of yourself as just a content creator. You need to start seeing yourself as an architect. You're not just making individual pieces anymore. You are building a powerful, predictable engine that drives real, measurable growth for the business. So that really just leaves one last question, and this one is for you. After looking at everything we've covered, from picking a cadence to putting your playbook into action, what is the very first concrete step that you are going to take to stop the chaos and start building your own content engine?